She's awesome. She's awesome. She goes out her way, up and above. She does more than anybody I've ever met in animal rescue. She's the one to come to. If you need help, she's the one.
When we provide that level of medical care, then you don't have the sick animals, the multiplying animals, the 3 cats in the trailer park that turned into 203 inside of 2 years, and they're all sick. It's one thing to have a population explosion. It's another thing to have a population explosion of very sick, injured animals. It's almost cruel. So we talk about resource deserts, but we think of that on the human level. There's homeless people, there's people who don't have food for their family. We think about the resources, people can't get medical care, but we don't think about the human-animal bond as a piece of that. And the human-animal bond is a critical piece of that, because to say that a person shouldn't have an animal if they can't afford it, there's a lot of things wrong with that. Sorry, Jack. So you look at all the ways that you can keep the animals out of the shelter system, from direct adoption here, adoption with our partners, access to care, training and mentorship programs with shelters. We teach the medical protocols to other rescues and smaller shelters that they really don't have access to veterinary care. They don't have a vet on staff. So a litter of kittens comes in sick, what do? The kittens are going to die in a cage.
It's placing animals with homes that may not get a home, and cats get a bad rap, I think, for the most part. Lots of people want dogs and they just don't understand cats.
Just at St. Tammany's numbers, I think that shelter's successfully been no-kill for 3 years. 97% save rate. Once upon a time, they killed over 2,000 animals. But just this past year, we treated over 2,000 animals from St. Tammany Parish that stayed in homes that would have been surrendered because the people didn't have access to care. So that tells you right there that that's 2,000 animals that didn't go into that shelter system that would have possibly been euthanized because we treated them and kept them in their homes.
Marilyn has brought so much pleasure and comfort and joy to me. And I know I gave her a good home, but she has made my home special.
These here all come from people that didn't want them back. Like I do transports, I run them to the shelters to get them spayed and neutered once a week for people that can't drive or they work or whatever, older people. And most of them tell me after I leave that they don't want the cat back. And the cat's got nowhere to go. So I end up bringing them home and hopefully get in touch with Miss Catherine so they can go on a transport to another home.
The transport's how we get most of the animals that come in and we get healthy. We get them homes faster by bringing them to our adoption partners. And then that opens up the space to take the next ones in. And then another 430 some odd animals we took in from this parish last year. But those animals we took in, we treated, and then we were able to transport them because we have such a great transport program. We have partners, we have adoption partners in 18 states across the country. Where the amazing thing is, because they do these things we're trying to implement here, because they have access to care, because they have spay-neuter programs, they don't have overpopulation. So what's so cool is you bring these animals there, half of them, there's pre-qualified adopters waiting for them. You know, we've showed up where we've had a line of people waiting to pick up cats. That's unheard of here.
They're pretty much adopted before they get there most of the time because they don't have cats like we do. So they go pretty quick and they get great homes.
We brought some dogs to Colorado a few years ago, sat in the shelter system here for almost 2 years. They were all adopted before we got home. I think we drove 80 some odd thousand miles last year and got, I want to say, 1,500 animals homes. And all of that is an expense. And I'll tell you right now, it's probably our most important program and it's the hardest to fund. We get our cats out fast, they get our cats out fast, those cats get a great home, then it keeps that cycle going. to move more cats out of Louisiana and out of the South. You can move them out of the South to where there's more of a opportunity for great homes. It's not necessarily the time frame, it's the connection you make when something has no hope. There's no hope. It was going to die on the street.
She taught me so much about how to care for them. She taught me things I didn't even know, but she's good. She's good.
You get good Samaritans. When you pick up an animal and you see it suffering and you're begging everybody to help and nobody will help, I don't know. I believe it's what I'm supposed to do.
They were only like 6 months old.
And once it's in my care, there is a connection. And you want a good outcome, and it's amazing. You take cats that you thought they were going to die. You've watched them in oxygen for weeks. You've prayed that they're going to make it through, and they do. So it's kind of bittersweet, you know? You're handing it off and you're happy, and there's part of you going, I hope I'm making the right choice. Hope this family will really take care of this animal. But it's still a little piece of your heart, you know? You goodbye and have a great life, man.
What they do here is, it takes a lot of work. These people work hard. They work hard. Your donations help them a lot, and they need them.